Drained, stressed, unhappy. That's how we feel by waking up at 4, 5 a.m. Something that was supposed to make our lives great. But is this really true? Like, yes, you would have more time, but wouldn't this happen in the majority of your day? Or that you'll be so tired that you would become dumb? Being an early waker, personally, I have experienced these dilemmas. 2 years ago, I wanted to become a tennis player. And with that goal in mind, I started waking up early at 5 a.m. because I wanted to train before going to school. I woke up and, like a zombie, I headed to my garage. The marks are still here. In the short term, I improved a lot and won some tournaments. This made me very proud of my improvements. But after only 1 month, I stopped improving and even started to play worse until I had an elbow fracture because of too much effort and too little rest. And with this, I couldn't play tennis for 9 months. At that point, I could have learned the lessons, and I did, but not totally. A year later, I started not waking up as early as before, at 6 a.m., to be more productive. But was I really productive? Meditation was just terrible, and I really struggled to not fall asleep, and reading was just the same thing. And at the end of the day, sometimes I just needed to set my alarm for 7 a.m. And now, with 15 years old, I finally learned that sleep really is important. It isn't just important, but it also gives you abilities you wouldn't even imagine you had. And that is the first reason why I'm making this video, to discover my abilities and to see if my normal abilities return, because during these weeks, honestly, I've been feeling quite dumb. And the second reason is to help you do the things that work for you instead of just doing the things that David Goggins tell you to do.
You want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do? You could be misunderstood by everybody.
So during these days, I'm going to sleep for a lot, for like 9 hours, which for me just happens like 5 times a year. And I'm going to describe each day in 5 parameters: productivity, intelligence, feeling sure, feeling tired, and creativity, to see what sleep influences. So today was a very good day. For my surprise, I could see some differences, especially in my productivity and mood, because I got everything done and I could study physics, which I couldn't do yesterday. But I didn't play tennis because during these weeks it has just been pouring rain. Which is interesting because when we don't sleep sufficiently, we aren't being as productive as we could be. If you don't sleep a lot, yes, you are going to have more hours, but if you sleep well, you are going to be able to do things way more quickly because you are just smarter. And today I felt a lot more well disposed than what I used to feel, because instead of going home, I was lending people my umbrella so they wouldn't get wet. And with the other aspects, it is still the same thing as before. Has it ever happened to you waking up worse than when you went to bed? Well, this is happening to me because of these experiments. This happens because of the sleep cycle, which has stages. Two of them are the light sleep stage and the deep sleep stage. During light sleep, your mind relaxes, it throws away waste products and toxins. Light sleep happens before the deep sleep. And now during deep sleep, your muscles are regenerated and they grow. Your memory is consolidated your muscles relax, which promotes physical recovery. When you wake up feeling worse than when you went to bed, it means you have woken up in the middle of a deep sleep stage. So maybe at 7 a.m., I am in a deep sleep stage. And today was a very boring day. I had school until 5:30, and to turn my day even worse, I had a dentist appointment. And when I arrived home, ready to finally do something interesting, I had to do maths homeworks. After some minutes, I just got fed up and I worked out. Now, let's go rate my day. Productivity. I didn't do everything I wanted to do because of the school. And energy. I was super energetic actually. And honestly, today I felt quite smart. Except during the physics class, I left that class confused with everything. And finally, today is Friday. Honestly, this week has just been very stressful with the school and with recording this video. So thankfully, I am sleeping a lot because today my head was just very tired and I wasn't very well disposed. To see if this would stop, I went to run 10 kilometers. I ran the 10 kilometers with a pace of 4 minutes and 22 seconds. So this is my PR in a training. I'm feeling dead anyways, but at least I have a good reason. I think I'm as productive as before, maybe even a bit more with this way of sleep, but because now I wake up later, I don't have time to do my morning routine. So I think I'll start going to bed earlier to have time to do all the super male things in my morning routine. So tonight is the last night of this experiment and I can sleep even more because the hour changes. But what I want to talk about is doing the things that work for you, not what works for others. And I don't say this like if you didn't have the abilities that successful people have. I say this because I think you can get even better results with other methods. You see, each method has different benefits and different negative impacts. For example, when people say to wake up at 5 a.m., they only think about the time that you'll get to do things. But if you have a job that requires you to be super intelligent, maybe it won't be such a good idea. Of course, you can wake up at 5 a.m. and still be sleeping for a good amount of hours, but usually people that wake up at 5 a.m. they only sleep for like 5 hours. So I think it would be a very good idea to sleep for like 8 hours to be very efficient at your job. But this method has also negative points, such as having less hours available to do things. So you need to analyze your situation and choose the best methods for you. So today this experiment finished. All my life I've been that person who wakes up super early on purpose and at the same time unconsciously. And I think over the last years I have abused that and I have been making dumb decisions about my sleep. I was always feeling exhausted and not very mentally able. But I don't know why, but I continued telling me that I couldn't sleep more and that I needed to wake up early. And just with this little experiment, I discovered who I'm able to be and the abilities I have with just honestly thinking with my head.